it's one of those stories that gets Washington hyperventilating. Today, Hillary Clinton explained why she used private email to conduct official business as Secretary of State. She said it was a matter of convenience, but routing the communications through her server at home prevented some of those emails from being automatically archived at the State Department, and it allowed her to decide later which records to make public and which to delete. Nancy Cordes put the question to the former secretary and future candidate.
Clinton emerged from a speech at the UN to face a crowd of hundreds of journalists. She issued this mea culpa.
Looking back, it would have been better for me to use 2 separate phones and 2 email accounts. I thought using one device would be simpler, and obviously it hasn't worked out that way.
Clinton claimed that the private server she shared with her husband at their home in New York was secure and was never hacked, and that she never emailed classified material.
The laws and regulations in effect when I was Secretary of State allowed me to use my email for work. That is undisputed.
Federal regulations from 2009 required that federal records sent or received on private email accounts must be preserved in the appropriate agency record-keeping system. But Clinton didn't turn over her emails until this past December, nearly 2 years after she left the administration, and only after the State Department asked for them.
In going through the emails, there were over 60,000 in total sent and received. About half were work-related and went to the State Department.
The rest, she says, were personal, so she deleted them permanently.
Emails about planning Chelsea's wedding or my mother's funeral arrangements, condolence notes to friends, as well as yoga routines, family vacations, the other things you typically find in inboxes.
How can the public be assured that when you deleted emails that were personal in nature, that you didn't also delete emails that were professional but possibly unflattering?
Well, first of all, you would have to ask that question to every single federal employee, because the way the system works, the federal employee, the individual, whether they have 1 device, 2 devices, 3 devices, how many addresses, they make the decision.
Republicans investigating the 2012 Benghazi attacks were not satisfied with that and said Clinton should turn over her server to an independent, third-party neutral observer. But Scott Clinton said her private server will remain just that, private.
Nancy, thank you. Now let's bring in John Dickerson, our CBS News political director. John, the partisans are going to believe what they want to believe. There's no chance any minds were changed there today. So what difference does any of this make in Hillary Clinton's campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination?
Well, I think part of that answer will come from whether we're still talking about this closer to election time, and that depends on when and how the issue comes up again, either when the State Department releases the emails or congressional investigators do. The central question here is trust. Hillary Clinton today asked voters, do they try to trust her? And the question is, do they? The question applies not just to the way she handled these emails, but do they trust her in general when they see her explain her actions? These kinds of situations give candidates a chance to forge new connections with voters, or a candidate can raise new doubts in the moment they're trying to explain themselves. Some voters may make those judgments now, but between now and Election Day, we can be sure there will be other moments where the same instincts Clinton displayed today will be tested again, Scott.
John, thanks very much.